Hi besties, what's up? My name is Mackenzie and welcome to my channel and welcome to the mid-year book freakout tag. So, if you've never heard of this, a bunch of book creators more specifically, do it every single year as a way to do a mini mid-year wrap-up of sorts. We talk about all sorts of books. So, I'm going to do my best to synopsize all the books that I have in front of me right now. However, obviously, I would definitely recommend you guys going and doing your own research, as I am not the best at synopsizing books most of the time. First, we're getting to the hard question. The question that I don't think I'm prepared for, but what is the best book that you've read this year? So, if I had to go for the best book that I've read this year, so far, it would be Hooked by Emily McIntyre. If you guys don't know, Hooked follows James and Wendy, and Wendy's dad, Peter, is one of James's biggest rivals, and James is seeking revenge on Peter in the form of his daughter. He is going to make Wendy fall in love with him and then tear their family out, like from the inside out. And yeah, I was super obsessed with this book. Obviously, travesty, disappointment. I really need to annotate this book. I really actually quite enjoyed it. I was not expecting it to be as dark as it is, although it is considered dark romance, obviously. But I am literally so in love with this book. I want the whole thing tattooed on my body, like just head to toe, all the words in this book, because I love it so much. I was literally not expecting to love it this much, but I immediately went and bought the second and third books in the series. So yeah, very happy that I read this book this year. It's the best. I love it so much. Next question is, what is the best sequel you read so far this year? And I'm sorry, you guys. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to go with It Starts With Us. Now, to be fair, I don't think I've read very many sequels this year at all. Like, maybe a few. But none of them have stood, like, my memory as well as It Starts With Us. This book freaking wrecked me. This book wrecked me. I sobbed. I cried. I literally wanted to throw the book across the room. That is how much this book affected me, and I really liked it. So if you don't know, this book is the sequel to It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover, and It Ends With Us basically follows Atlas and Lily, and they meet on a fated night, and they start dating, and it kind of turns from a love story to something much darker and grittier and like just awful. So definitely look up trigger warnings before you go into that book, because it is a very hard read. This book basically just follows Lily as she's trying to get her life back on track after the events of It Ends With Us. I really enjoyed this book, and wow, this book just made me sob uncontrollably. It was a little bit ridiculous, honestly, but it was so good nonetheless. Okay, I'm sorry. I actually lied, because as I was moving my stack of books around to find the books for the next question, I forgot Lost in the Moment and Found by Sean McGuire. Oh my gosh, how could I forget this book? So if you don't know, basically this is part of the Wayward Children series. It is one of my favorite series of all time. I love it so much. This is actually the first year I haven't reread the whole thing in June, because I usually like to reread the whole series in June. But Lost in the Moment and Found is, oh geez, I don't even know what book this is. Yeah, I'm sorry, I quite literally have no clue what book this is in this series. Anyways, so this book follows Antoinette, and at the very beginning, something very traumatic happens to Antoinette, and things pursue from there. I'm sorry, like, do you see this? Do you see how small this is? I can't hardly tell you anything because I don't want to spoil it, but this was such a good book. It also made me cry, or like it made me, like, it just hurt something in my soul that I was not prepared to deal with, but I really love this book. Okay, hi, this is Mackenzie from A Couple Minutes Later, and I realized as I was, again, shuffling around books, that I forgot, like, the biggest shock, the biggest surprise. I don't know if I can count it as a sequel because technically it's a prequel. I don't care. I literally don't care. Are you kidding me? How did I forget about this? How did I forget about 20% off Target sticker that I have on there? Oh, do you see how good that came off? Just a little bit of tampering and I bet I can get the whole thing off. Okay, anyways, how did I forget about this? This book was literally so good. So good. I rated it 4.5 stars. So excited to have a copy. I finally bought one. Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes follows Cornelius Snow, who is the president of Katniss Everdeen's world in Hunger Games. And this book follows him as he is basically the first mentor ever in the Hunger Games and what that's like. And also follows Lucy. It is about Cornelius's and Lucy's love story. And I freaking adored this book so much. The ending freaking had me shook to my core. I will link the blog up above in which I read this in, but oh my gosh, I'm so obsessed with this book. The next question is a new release that I have yet to read, but I really want to. So we have quite a few answers for this, so I'm sorry. But first, we're gonna go with Lore Olympus Volume 4 by Rachel Smythe. Lore Olympus, I literally love Lore Olympus. I'm really shocked I do, but as we can see, like I have the fourth book. I really love it. If you don't know, Lore Olympus is basically a webtoon that follows Hades and Persephone and their love story. So I really like this. I'm kind of scared to see what goes on in this book because I think we left on a really tense scene at the very end of the third book. So I'm very excited to read this. Next we have one that I'm not even going to try to synopsize, but we have A Day of the Fallen Night by Samantha Shannon. As we can see, I am like quite literally so close to being done with this book that like I'm surprised I can't synopsize it, but I can't. Obviously jokes. I'm literally like 26 pages in or something stupid like that, like something so insignificant. Oh, I'm 65 pages. I sold myself short, but basically this is the prequel to Priory, and I was also going to get rid of Priory, or I was thinking about it. However, I am really enjoying this, and I did really enjoy Priory when I read it, so I'm going to keep Priory and this, and I'm very excited because apparently there's going to be like another book in the series. Hopefully it's like a huge, large, expansive series. I know everybody wants this because the main draw of Priory was that it was standalone, high fantasy, epic high fantasy novel, but very glad we're getting more in the world and more characters in the world, and I'm really hoping upon hope that we can revisit the books in Priory because or the characters more like from Priory because I really love them. But yeah, I'm really happy with this book. I'm happy that I bought it. Next we have Imogen Obviously by Becky Albertalli. If that name sounds familiar. Becky also wrote Simon versus the Homo Sapiens Agenda, which is one of my favorite books of all time. Also a travesty that I haven't annotated it. We don't pay attention to that though, but I'm not 100% sure what Imogen Obviously is about, but I believe it's about this girl who goes to visit their friend up in college, and she realizes that she might have feelings for them even though she had a preconceived notion about herself that she may find out is wrong. I think I'm really going to relate to this book on some personal levels, so I'm very excited to read this. Again, I love Becky Albertalli, and I cannot wait to read this. Also, this cover, stunning. I love it. And last but not least, we have Yellowface by R.F. Kuang. So R.F. Kuang is definitely one of my favorite authors of all time. She wrote the Poppy War trilogy, and I have yet to finish that trilogy because I'm scared. But Yellowface is essentially about an author, an Asian author, I believe, who wrote a manuscript, and for one reason or another, she ends up dead. And it is about the roommate of this dead author stealing her work and publishing it as her own because she feels like she has some sort of right to this book. So I do really want to read this. I've heard really good things about it. I hope I like it as much as everybody else seems to. So yeah, I'm very excited about this. Next question is the most anticipated sequel I have for the last half of the year. So the first one I have is Defiant by Brandon Sanderson. Fourth and final book to the Skyward Saga by him. I'm literally so obsessed with Skyward. It is like, oh, actually, I literally have it right here. Hello. Who would have thought? Obsessed. This is like the quintessential Makenzie book. Like I am like so freaking in love with this book, as you guys can tell, obviously, and like, I love the sound of taps. Anyways, I'm so excited for Defiant. I'm also like literally obsessed with the cover. I'm gonna have to put a picture, but if you don't know, Skyward follows Spensa, and Spensa has wanted to be a fighter pilot for as long as she can remember. However, her dad was also a fighter pilot, and he unfortunately went basically AWOL on their last mission and ended up disappearing. So nobody trusts Spensa's family. However, she ends up taking the entrance exam and they give her a chance. And it is so good. I love Spensa. I love this girl right here. I'm in love with her. I love her so much. I love Spensa. So very happy about this. I'm very excited to see where Defiance goes. Very excited for Defiant. And then we have fourth and final book in the Marionette series by Katie Wismer, and that is Ruthless Ends. So if you don't know, the first book is The Marionettes. This is my hardcover special edition, so it has a special cover. I believe that the cover is actually white, but this cover is obviously black. Anyways, if you don't know, The Marionettes follows character Valerie in this book, and she is one of the last surviving blood witches, and she is in school to become a marionette, which is basically like somebody who works directly for the queen of this world, who is also a vampire, and they also become paired with other vampires and perform these tasks and stuff, so that they can see if they can actually be initiated as a marionette. And there's also like a different element, like a murder mystery element. And I really, seriously, I love these books so much. I'm rereading the first one as we speak so that I can annotate the second two. This is who you're going to be reading about. Like, low-key kind of enemies to lovers. Like, not like enemies like Jude and Carden, but like still kind of enemies to lovers. So highly recommend The Marionettes. I love it so much, and I cannot wait for Ruthless Ends to come out. After the ending of that third book, I don't even know. I don't know what I'm gonna do when the series is over. She said it's not the last book in the world, but like, part of me is gonna be empty when the series finishes, because I've literally been following the series since The Marionettes came out. So I'm very, 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 very super excited for it to come out. I'm so excited. I hope that clap wasn't loud. I'm so sorry. Got a little bit too excited. All right, besties. Next we have the biggest surprise of the year. And I have a couple for this one. So first we're going to go with Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe by Benjamin Larry-Sens. And if you don't know, this book follows Dante and Aristotle, and they become unlikely best friends. And it is basically about them like finding themselves and discovering themselves in high school amidst all of the hard tragedies that they are going through. And I really loved this book. I was not expecting to. I mean, I quite literally said like in the first like 5 chapters, I was like, I don't think I'm gonna like this book. I might DNF it. I might unhaul it. So glad that I like finished reading this. This was such a beautiful story, and I cannot wait for the second book to come out in paperback, because then I will also read that one. I saw a box set at Barnes & Noble today of the 2 hardcovers of this series, and I was like, I want it so bad, but I cannot justify buying it. But I love this. This is the one thing that I tabbed, because I obviously wasn't tabbing because I thought I was gonna unhaul it, but I won't tell you who this is about, and I will like kind of leave out the names, I guess. But all right, so I'm literally gonna cry reading this. Okay, like literally this book had me so close to tears multiple times, but this is when I really started to love the book. So Blank is the first friend I've had, and that scares me. I think that if Blank really knew me, he wouldn't like me. And like, especially like the very last thing that I read, I cannot cry right now, but wow, this book really did a number on me. And I don't think I really realized what it did to me until just now, when I'm literally steps away from bawling. So I'm just gonna like cover that up with some other books so I stop looking at it, because whew, I think that's the best book I've read this year. No, I definitely think it was Hooked, but wow, that book really cut me deep. And I forgot till I opened that page, and now I'm emotionally distraught. Anyways, let's talk about a little bit of a happier one. Yawn of the Dawn, Volume 2. So, as we can probably see, I loved this book. Essentially, Yona is a princess, and she is waiting to be betrothed so that her father can hand down the kingdom to whoever she betroths. I love this book as much as I thought I was going to love the first one, and I did not love the first one. That one was a 3 stars, this one was a 5 stars. This book blew me out of the water. This book also had me crying. Not because I was sad necessarily, but like, it just had me tearing up a lot, which I was very surprised by. So I really loved Yawn of the Dawn. New favorite author by far, H.D. Carlton, baby. H.D. freaking Carlton. Are you kidding me? I'm obsessed with her books so much. So I've read almost every book that she's released besides, there are 2 backlist books that I don't know if I'm interested in. I've read all of her dark romance books, I believe. I don't know if the other 2 are, but I've read 4 books by her this year. So I read the novella Satan's Affair. I think I read, did I read Haunting Adeline this year? I think I read Haunting Adeline this year, and then I read Hunting Adeline, and then I read Does It Hurt? And oh my freaking gosh, you guys, I freaking love H.D. Carlton so much. I had to rank her books so far. I definitely say, first of all, Satan's Affair is at the bottom. Then I'd have to go with Does It Hurt? And then, okay, because the writing was better in this one, I'm going to have to go with Hunting Adeline. I liked the plot a lot more in Haunting Adeline. I'm so sorry. I liked the plot a lot more in Haunting Adeline. However, I thought the writing was a little bit rough, but honestly, like, it got better the more books by her I read. So I don't know how I could forget about my girl H.D. Carlton. I love her books so much. Say it with me again though, look up the trigger warnings if you read any of these. Like I said, by far my favorite that I've read by her. This book was so freaking good. So I'll explain this one. Since I feel like Haunting and Hunting Adeline are more talked about, the cat and mouse duet is more talked about, I will talk about this one. So basically, Does It Hurt follows Sawyer, and Sawyer has been on the flee in a different country ever since she made a decision to take back her life. One day, Sawyer meets Enzo while she's on the run, and they have like a fun date together, I believe it is, and then she ends up stealing his identity, and he wants to get revenge on her for stealing his identity. So I really love this book. It was so phenomenal. Chef's Kiss, first 5-star H.D. Carlton book, and it definitely deserved it. I loved it a lot. If you want to see like the full thoughts of this book, it'll also be in the cards somewhere. I believe I also read Hunting Adeline and Hooked. I think I read Hooked in that video too, and Satan's Affair. So it's a very H.D. Carlton heavy week, but definitely recommend that video. That is like one of my favorite videos I've ever filmed ever in my life. I love that video a lot. All right, next we have newest fictional crush. I'm gonna go with something safe. I could say Enzo from this book, but honestly, Enzo might be too intense for me. So I'm going to go with both Yona and Hawk from Yawn of the Dawn. That's Hawk, that's Yona. I love them a lot. I'm like literally obsessed with Hawk though. Like, I'm gonna have to find the one panel. It's kind of hard because there are panels, like pages, because when I annotate, I actually like fold over pages, like dog ear them, and I don't do that in manga. Okay, well, since we're looking through this, let's look at Queen Yona, because holy shiitake mushrooms, is she not the most beautiful ever? Okay, I'm sorry, okay, well, this is a good one too. Oh, look at him, he's gorgeous, and I love him. Enough said about Yona, like, obsessed. So, next we have a book that made you cry. Alright. We aren't gonna rehash old demons. I'm talking about the book that almost made me cry while I was sitting here. Or It Starts With Us, but I'm so sorry that I have to bring this up. I'm so sorry that I'm doing this to you guys because I honestly, I don't want to, but we have Reminders of Him by Colleen Hoover. So if you don't know, this book follows Kenna and Ledger. I don't know how I forget his name every time because Ledger is the last name of someone in the Selection series, and that is like, I love that series. Anyways, so Reminders of Him follows Kenna and Ledger, and Kenna, unbeknownst to us, has been in jail for the past 5 years, and she has just recently gotten out, and she goes to this bar one night and she meets Ledger, and things ensue from there, and he doesn't know who she is. She's kind of hiding her identity from him because of her past and because of who he is to someone in her past. And oh my gosh, this book hurt. It hurt me. So, but I'm really happy that I read it. I really loved it. This is definitely one of my favorite Colleen Hoover books out there. So yeah. Next, on the flip side of that, we have what is a book that made you happy? So first, we have to talk about Fangs by Sarah Anderson. I actually originally read this on a webcomic forum. I'm sorry, I don't remember which one. I will look into it and link it down below. But I read that on there, and I loved it so much that I had to get myself a copy. So basically this follows this vampire and this werewolf as they fall in love. It is like little short stories about their love affair, and I literally love it so much. I love our main characters. I don't remember what their names are, but that's okay. But yeah, I love this, and this is cloth bound and it has like sprayed edges, and it's beautiful and I love it. Next we have the Him series by Elle Kennedy and Serena Bowen. Hi honey. Okay, hi bestie. Sorry if the angle has changed ever so slightly. I had to go and charge my camera, and I also had to delete some footage because I was running out of footage, and that's when my camera started to die. So I believe we were talking about books that have made me happy this year. So I have a few more to talk about. So I want to talk about the Us series by Serena Bowen and Elle Kennedy. So if you don't know, these books follow Wes and Jamie, and they used to be best friends in high school. However, at the beginning of the book, we really don't know what caused them to drift apart. But one day they come into contact with each other again, and they become coaches on a hockey team, and stuff ensues from there. I will say, these books, I love these books so much. We have Us, we have Him, and we have the short little novella. I really love this book series. Yeah, I really loved it. It was super good. The one thing I will say is that these books are extremely spicy, like extremely smutty. So I'd recommend like watching out for that. I was not aware of that when I picked these books up, but they are. So that didn't deter me from them, but it was just a little bit of a shock. So yeah, but I love these. I love Wes and Jamie's relationship. It is so great. Yeah, but Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter. You can see I like slightly annotated it. I didn't start annotating it until about like 100 pages in because I wasn't sure if I was gonna love it. I ended up actually really loving it. So if you don't know, Better Than the Movies follows Liz and also Wes. Oh, okay, anyways, follows Liz and Wes. And Liz has been a rom-com movie fanatic since she was little because that's something her and her mom loved to do. And she has been waiting for this huge meet cute with, or like this huge like romantic movie scene between her and this boy that she's had a crush on forever. And in enters Wes, her nosy next door neighbor who annoys her all the time. And she strikes up a deal that basically, in exchange for his help to get her together with their friend, she will in turn give them the coveted parking spot in front of both of their houses that gives them the perfect like walking distance to each of their houses. It was so fun. I loved Liz and Wes together. I loved the fake dating aspect to this book as well, and they really became like frenemies to friends to lovers very gradually, and it was so fun and so cute, and I really love them. All right, next we have the most beautiful book you've bought or received this year. So first I want to talk about that right there. So This is Chain of Gold by Cassandra Clare, and this is the Barnes & Noble exclusive, and as you can see, it has gilded, sparkly gold edges, and I'm absolutely obsessed with this. I bought it for my birthday. It was on sale for a really good deal, so yeah, I love it. It has obviously Chain of Gold, and this makes me think that they might do more in this. I hope they do. But then it says, all pain fades, all misery passes, humanity is drawn to light, not darkness, on the back, and I love that. Next we have, this was a pre-order for A Wilderness of Stars by Shay Earnshaw. This was from the Bookish box, I believe, and Shay Earnshaw, if you don't know, is one of my favorite authors. I saw this, it was like immediate yes. So we have the cutout and like these iconic swirls that like remind me of that Van Gogh painting. Then we have the title page, the spine under the dust jacket, and this beautiful artwork. Oh, I love it. And then obviously we have the sprayed edges that go all the way around, I mean. And we have the end pages, the signature, and obviously we have more end pages. I don't know if there's anything else so special about it, but I do definitely love that. I cannot wait to read this book. And then we have just the spine here. It's really pretty. And then we have the back, and it says, I can feel the story of the last astronomer being written along my skin with each mile we cross, a fate I can't escape. And yeah, I love how this looks. I'm super glad I pre-ordered it. Next we have Daughter of the Pirate King by Trisha Levenseller. This is one of my favorite books that I read last year, and they just came out with these new editions, and I was not ready for that. I was aware that they were changing the covers, but I was not ready for that beautiful page art. I love it. Obviously, I probably, oh, that reminds me. When I reread and annotate, I don't think I'm going to be like annotating these pages because I don't want to ruin this, but like, look how beautiful, like just even the spine. And then on the inside, it has like drawings of a ship. Oh my gosh, that was hard to say. Drawings of a ship. So, and then it has obviously the ribbon bookmark that you see. This was so pretty. I love it. And then on that same vein, we also have, I believe these are Fairy Loot exclusive editions of Daughter of the Pirate King and Daughter of the Siren Queen. Bam, look at those edges. And if you put them together, they make a little ship, and they're so pretty. I don't want to open them too much because I don't want to ruin said pages, but it has like the ship wheel, obviously just plain navy and gold spine, normal backing, obviously the pages, and then, oh my gosh, look at this. And this. And then we have Daughter of the Siren Queen. This is the spine. I don't know if I showed you the spine on the other one. These are the spines. There's that artwork. This artwork. Oh, beautiful. I don't know who did these, but they are like stunning, and I believe that they're signed as well. Yeah, so they probably each have these, I believe. Oh, so pretty. These were definitely like, I'm so glad I got my hands on these. Next we have a Fae Crate exclusive. I had Fae Crate for a little bit. So we have Where Oceans Burn by Casey Bond. I really, really like this cover. And then we have like the almost reflective metallic. And then like we have the fun like, yeah, the maps. And then like we have special title pages and beginning chapter pages. So pretty. And then I don't think, oh yeah, that's right. Oh, so then we have obviously the naked book, spine, and then the back, and it says Truth, Honor, Blood. and Bake Rate exclusive on the bottom. I miss my Bake Rate subscription so much. I really liked all the books that I got in them. Like, I haven't read all of them, but I like the way all of them look. They're super pretty. And then we're going to talk about my two, like, just bucket list books, if you will. So, have Lore Olympus Volume 4, and this is the Barnes & Noble exclusive. And literally saw this one night in Barnes & Noble, and I'm like, oh, I'm so obsessed with that. So, I had to get it. I ordered it from there. So, yeah, I'm really happy with this. It's so stunning. I don't know that there's really much special about it besides the cover, but shouldn't have flipped through it then. But I love this, and like Hades, he looks so hot. So I love this. I'm so happy to have this as well. It takes everything in me not to buy all the exclusive editions from Barnes & Noble, but they're kind of pricey, so yeah. And I don't have like a ton of room on my shelf. I don't have any room on my shelves. I have literally 2 stacks of books right by me, so I don't have enough room on my shelves either way, but yeah, stunning. And then my two, like, so first we have the, oh, I think this is Fairy Loot maybe? Okay, I'm so sorry. I don't actually know. I don't actually know which bookish box this came from, but this was on a secondhand site. I believe it's Fairy Loot, and this is the Fairy Loot edition of Girls of Paper and Fire by Natasha Nagan. I have the other two in the Fairy Loot exclusive edition, and I was so pumped to see this. It has the bright pink edges, and the colors are so bright and vibrant on here. I love this. I love this. This is like my bucket list book. As soon as I finished the 3rd book in the series, I was like, okay, I need to pull the trigger and I need to get it. So I got this, and it's wonderful, perfect. And like, I think my other couple books by her that I have from Fairy Loot, this one is also signed. I cannot wait to see what she comes up with next. This series is so good. First book in the Girls of Paper and Fire trilogy, and it is completed, in case you were wondering. And then possibly, like, this is like, okay, I'm just gonna, I've read 1 chapter of Babel, and I was like, I need this. So this is Babel by R.F. Kuang, and this is the Fairy Loot exclusive edition as well. So we have the Tower of Babel right here. Is that like reflective? Oh no, it's just the shading. Super pretty. And then the rest are like black sprayed edges. Really pretty purple. What did I just say? Silver. Really pretty silver cover. And then we have some character artwork right here. And the reverse. Okay, no, I didn't think so. I'll have to show you the inside. And then we have this as well. So pretty. And then the front and the back of the book have similar designs. So we have the front and back. So I think they're actually like identical, but oh, so pretty. As I've talked about before, when I talked about Yellowface, R. Kuang is one of my favorite authors, and so I'm very happy to have Babel and Arcane History by her. I am just so extremely ecstatic that I have a copy of this book that looks like this, because this is by far the prettiest edition of Babel that there is. Oh, you guys like my Dr. Pepper right there that I forgot was there? And last but not least, we have what are the books that you need to read for the end, before the end of the year. So I have a 2023 TBR. I never created a video on that, but I do want to do, like, I guess sort of a reaction video. Sorry, my necklace is all weird. I wanted to do a reaction video, or like a reaction to my TBR, even though like I know what books are on there because I have them on my TBR cart in my bedroom. I wanted to do like a mid-year check-in and see how many of them I've read. Spoiler alert, not that many, but that's okay. I'm not gonna bring up those because we're gonna do a whole dedicated video to that sometime in the future. So really quickly, Day of Fallen Night is definitely on my bucket list this year. I love it. I want to know what happens in it. I'm like so enthralled. Next we have The Jasmine Throne by Tasha Suri. I don't know much about this book, so I can't give you like an in-depth like synopsis of this book, but I love this cover, and the second cover is stunning. I'll try to like remember to pop a picture right here somewhere for a minute, but oh my gosh, I love this cover, and all the synopses and all the ways that I've heard it pitched has really like intrigued me, so I love it. I love how it looks like an oil painting. I'm sorry that I say that in every video that I talk about this book, but yeah, I definitely want to get to this sooner rather than later. A Court of Silver Flames by Sarah J. Maas. These are this is like an exclusive dust jacket. I'm not crazy about these as I thought I would be, so I might try to sell them secondhand and get like different ones, but you don't know, this is the 4th book in the Court of Thorns and Roses series, and this is Nesta's book, and it's like the width of half of my face, so that's fun. But I've heard that this is one of the harder books to read in the series, plus it's just like super spicy, so I guess we'll see. But we have that, and then equally as big, House of Sky and Breath by Sarah Janet. So did I pre-order this book? Yes. Did I get it on release date? Yes. Have I read this? I'm gonna say no. And I did the same thing with The Court of Silver Flames too. So like, embarrassing, but I'm scared to read this. I'm really scared to read this. Mostly because on my birthday next year, happy birthday to me, Sarah Janet is releasing, I don't remember the 3rd book, but she's releasing the 3rd book, and I've heard speculation that all the Sarah Janet characters that we've seen in the other series might show up in 3rd book of this one. So I don't want that to happen. Like, freaking leave Aelin alone. She's done, gone through enough. Like, leave her alone. But yeah, I'm scared of this book. I really am. So I'm like very intimidated by that book, but I guess we'll see when I get to it. This book stack is freaking ridiculous, besties. Like, it's literally taller than me when I sit up. Anyways, no way I can hold up all of those books, but if you guys have made it this far into the video, thank you guys so much for watching. Like, I'm sure this has been a little bit chaotic, a little bit too, like, you know, a lot to process, a lot of books that I talked about, but I've had a really good reading year so far. I believe that I have read 89 books so far this year. My goal is 200, so I'm a little bit behind, but truth be told, I think I can catch up, and if I can't, it's just a reading goal. It's not the end of the world, even though I'm very competitive with myself and I do want to finish it. But yeah, I have had a lot of fun reading this year. I have had a really great reading year, to be honest, and I'm excited to see what the rest of the year has in store for me. So these are some of the books that I've talked about in this video. If you guys have read or loved any of these books, let a girl know. And if you like this video, don't forget on your way out to like it. And if you want to hit the subscribe button, that would be awesome. But if you just wanted to hang out for this video, that's awesome too. And I hope I will see you guys around some other time with a different video. So I will talk to y'all in my next one. Bye, everyone.
When you're not here, the sun don't shine. When you're not near, I don't feel like I do when you're with